Welcome back to my channel, guys. So, I decided to do something different this time. I decided to do top 10 JRPGs that I have played in my Switch. And note, this is my list and can only put games that I have finished. So, there might be really good games and JRPGs I haven't played, but I am planning them playing in the channel. But guys, so sit back and relax and let me tell you what is my top 10 JRPGs on Nintendo Switch. So I used to be a big fan of Dragon Ball when I was younger. I would watch every movie, every series, like 1,000 times, and I always dreamed I wish they would make a game where you could fully experience this game. Well, they announced that and it got me really hyped. And well, my first time is actually I was playing with the PC back then when it came out, and damn I had fun. Of course there was something repetitive like side quests, but as a RPG player it was no big deal. I was awed the whole time how they can the whole story make a realized fighting game mixed with RPG elements. Hell yeah, I'm in! And there's even DLC that I never played and never even touched. So I hope to play them in future, and I hope the all of the DLC is already came out. So look forward in my channel, I'm gonna make a playthrough of Kakarot. Well, this game is kinda hidden gem, isn't it? You don't really see anybody talking about it, even though it's from Platinum Games, legendary makers of Bayonetta and Wonderful 101. So, what is Astral Chain all about? Well, you're a cop that does investigations when weird events are happening and you have robotic creature helping you. Example, smelling evidence or chaining the enemies. And further you get, more helpers you get. Are you annoyed that side quests usually sucks? Well, no worries. This game have a lot of fun side quests like crossing the street with ice cream and not dropping it, or making parking space so cars can park. The combat also is really fun and very unique, but at the same time, your usual hack and slash combat which you love, and the combat changes depends what partner is helping you. For the story, I think it was excellent, but for my opinion it was predictable, but overall it's a really must-play game, and that is why it's in my number 9. So, as a big Fire Emblem fan, I approached this game as a similar series, so I went completely blind, and it's amazing. Clearly, it's not almost like Fire Emblem. It's a unique battle system where you move first, then take actions, and you have to decide which character to move. So think really carefully who you want to move each turn, and the whole thing is in 3D. How cool is that? Story is cool and epic, and there's evil lurking in other side of the army, and we are trying to stop it. And when you get further and further, you get more characters, more people to care about. Example, tanks, artillery. But yeah, overall I really recommend this game for any strategy or RPG fan. So that's why it's gonna be in my number 8. Okay, I played this game first time in Switch recently, and I heard people say it's a really good game. And they're right, it's actually a really good game. Combat is very fast paced, and there's still that lovely Platinum Games touch again. Story is very mysterious, and it follows these androids that are left behind when humankind got destroyed. Little by little you start care about them, even though they're just androids. What is very unique in this game that story is told every android's perspective. So be prepared to finish the game many times to get the whole story, but oh boy, the game rewards when you do it. So overall, NieR Automata is a really good game, and it's 6th in my list, so please play it. This game completely surprised me, it was so damn good. Having started to play Final Fantasy X, 9 and 30 in the past, but never finished them, I wanted to give this bad boy a try. And oh boy, it was a great Final Fantasy spin-off, if you could call it that. Firstly, the story characters are so likable and you kinda feel about them, also you get separate backstory, and this actually made me like him. That's really cool, right? The combat is very unique, and there's this slot machine mechanic, kinda decides if you get a crit or you get to use special, or you get to use these tiny balls called materia, etc. And it's one of my favorite JRPG battle systems now. The melding is really fun, and I learned it very fast because I have played Birth by Sleep in past, so that game kinda gives me blueprint already for this game. So how the melding works? Well, let's just say there's two same healing spells, you level up them both, then you fuse them together to make an even better healing spell, and after that rinse and repeat. This game was so good that it made me excited to finally play Final Fantasy VII Remake at some point and jump into the hype train. So that's gonna be my game number 6. So I might be a bit biased being Fire Emblem fan so long and lover of strategy games, but this game is one of the best games in Switch. Maybe not one of the best Fire Emblem games, but high up there. I like when they tried something new, like the school mechanic, and you can interact with your students, decide what you teach them, and pick a fighting class for them. Unfortunately, the school stuff gets a little bit repetitive when doing more runs of the game to get the other story paths. But there's a lot of new stuff, so I didn't really mind. Story is actually nice, but the game shines is the characters and the lore. And what a lore it has. So we had to play the game 4 times to get the full story, so be prepared for hundreds of hours of goodness. PS, I really like Edaka, sue me. When talking about JRPGs, you have to put at least one Trails game in the list, right? They're so damn underrated. So how about this game? Even though I didn't play this game in Switch, the game still is on Switch, but only in Japan, so I can add it to the list. I might be weird, but I love this game, and most of my fondest Trails memories are from Cold Steel 1 and 2. And when I think about any game in the Trails series, the freaking plot twist at the end of 2, I never saw that coming. As a fan of Star Wars, I approve that. I like the beginning of the game, that you're kinda lost, because what happened in Cold Steel 1, and you have to try survive and find your friends, the mystery what happened to them, and where are they, and no matter what you have to find them. Trails series is turn-based combat, and it's one of the best JRPG combats out there, with being cool animations for spell. And there's this one craft that are like super moves that use different bar than magic. There's this even better move if you save your combat points, and every character have their own. Like example, someone can revive everybody their special, someone can shield everybody for like craft moves, etc. As for the story, all the games are connected together so well that it kind of feels like I'm watching a good anime. Overall, really good series and characters are top notch. If you're a JRPG fan, this series is must play, so it's in my number 4. I went completely blind on this game. I heard many people recommending this and I decided to give it a try. And damn, the premise already hooked me. Story starts with Adol Christing and he gets in this mysterious island. There's a lot of weird things happening, and while you explore the island, you meet one by one the crew members. Some of them are lost, so you have to bring them together, but some of them are a little bit shady, so you have to be careful who you trust. Each one of them help you in their own way. Example, this one woman gives you upgrade your weapons, and you have to do side quests to them so they can help you even more, and the base gets bigger and then bigger and bigger. Story is fantastic. One of the best stories I know in JRPG genre. In this game you play in the past, also in the present time. Yeah, you have to put the story together by yourself. Like usual, Vulcan game has such a good characters. They're always very likable, so they're not really missing the spot also in this one. Some people say the Switch port has problems, but for me I didn't see any problems and I had really fantastic playing. PS, that hidden boss in the end, damn, it's a damn hard one. So Ys 8 is in my top 3 and I hope everybody plays it if you haven't played yet. If you don't wanna play it, you're surely missing out. Have you heard the saying, grandfather of JRPGs? Yep, this is that series. This game is amazing from start to finish. So, where do I start? Story is good, but it's very, let's just say, predictable. But with this game, it's not how the story, but the journey, and how the story is executed, and it's damn well. There is a lot of side stories in your journey. Example, this one where this one mermaid fell in love with the sailor, and she never get to know that he actually died. I cried like a baby in that one. Combat is like your typical turn-based, but it's really refined one, and you can see why this series is grandfather of JRPGs. You have skill tree with every character, and depends on the path you go, you can decide what weapons they can use, and then plan combos. Characters is top notch, and you met them in different countries, which is really cool. Example, this Silvando guy, who is this Spanish looking dude, is from Spanish looking town, and their accent also is kinda like how Spanish people would speak English. That's a cool detail, right? So overall, really good game, and once again, one of those games you have to play at least once in your life. So many twists and turns you wouldn't expect. That's why it's my number 2, so play it. So here's my honorable mentions. Kingdom Hearts. Really nice series with very nice gameplay and Disney characters. But they have only one game on the Switch, and I don't count the cloud games as Switch games. So sadly, I have to put them out of the list. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is really good game with lots of characters and faithful story, but I wasn't sure if I can put it in the list even though it's RPG made by Japanese. Ys 9. It was a really good Falcom game once again, but I felt the story didn't much excite me, and after Ys 8, I felt a bit of let down. This was really hard choice as a huge Xenoblade fan, but I have to pick Xenoblade 3, because Future Redeem was amazing. First, I was considering putting first Xenoblade, but Redeem changed my mind. Don't get me wrong, all Xenoblade games are amazing, but I wanted to pick only one, and Xenoblade 3 overall is still in my fresh memory. So what are these games all about? Combat, pretty single player MMO type of combat, where you can also decide what your other party members do in the middle of battle. You use your abilities to fill a gauge, and when it's full, you can do full party assault on enemies, and depends on the game, you could actually one-shot enemies later in the game, which is crazy. There's break, double, daze, and launch combo. That lets you stun enemies for a while, so you can punish them, but everything usually depends on what kind of game you're playing, or what kind of Xenoblade you're usually playing. I gave you a little bit about the combat, but let's talk about the story. Story is crazy. You can even comprehend how crazy the story is for a video game standards. There's a lot of sci-fi, lots of fantasy, but overall, if you like good stories, this franchise is just for you. Try not much to say about the story, but in Xenoblade 1, you start as a just your normal looking guy, whose village has been attacked by these automated robots called Mechon. One day they try to kill one of his close ones, and he wants to take a revenge on them, and your journey starts with your paths. Overall, this game is huge open world RPG with lots of unexpected twists and turns. Also combat really nice mix up of action RPG with little bit turn based also. But I warn you, this series might become your favorite, so it's gonna be my first one, and I want you to play. So that's my top 10 JRPGs on Switch. I briefly told a little bit about them and how they are. There's also a lot more JRPGs I haven't played, and they could come to the list in future, you never know. And I might update this one, we will see. But now that's done, I want to know what is your favorite JRPGs on Switch. Or can you tell me any games you like if you're not into those? But that's it for now. Well, now I'm gonna end the video here and hope you enjoyed it. And if you like my channel, be sure to check my other videos. I have example this JRPG section where I try to beat JRPGs from Monday to Friday. And now I've also been doing some Switch games beating challenge to see how many I can beat, and I'm also planning to start playing PC games soon also. But I hope myself to see you guys in the other videos as well in future. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.